Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Mashari Waringe on the KDNC 2010 Procedure Manual. Let us now turn our attention to chapter meetings. Chapter meetings and meeting places. Each chapter is autonomous in determining its meeting place. Each member of a KDNC chapter is entitled to attend the meeting of any other KDNC chapter. Chapters are expected to meet in a place where any member of the KDNC chapter can attend its meeting. Chapters should hold their regular meetings within their locality. The KDNC chapter. Informal meetings of one KDNC do not constitute official meetings of their chapters or wilayas. Consequently, no resolution passed by those present at informal meetings can be regarded by the board as expression of chapters or the wilayas. Cancellation of weekly meetings. A chapter board may cancel a weekly meeting under the circumstances described in Article 6 of KDNC Standard KDNC Chapter Constitution. Guests. Chapters should make special efforts to urge individual members to invite guests to weekly chapter meetings so that one KDNC of the community may be better informed about the chapter and its aims and objectives. Except for members of the news media or members of other chapters, permanent guests of a chapter or member of the chapter are discouraged. Chapters are also encouraged to do the following. 1. Welcome visiting one KDNC and their spouses. Chapters have discretionary authority in determining guests of visiting one KDNC. 2. Invite students at universities and schools and take active interest in the students and see that they are familiar with KDNC ideals and principles. 3. Welcome KDNC alumni, particularly those who have recently moved to the locality of the chapter. Alumni are expected to pay the same costs of attendance as paid by visiting one KDNC. Every member has a privilege of attending regular meeting of any other chapter, except for a chapter that previously terminated the membership of the said person for good cause. The chapter structure of weekly meetings. Chapters abide by the KDNC structure of weekly meetings developed by KDNC. This structure will enable members to remain focused on the ventures. The KDNC structure of weekly meeting is meant to help members achieve specific goals on a weekly basis. The goals of every week must carry over to the next week until they have completed building projects. The structure of KDNC weekly meeting is as follows. 1 is the actions, 2 is the actor title, 3 is the activity, and 4 is the person responsible. At the beginning of the meeting, the sergeant-at-arms opens the meeting and calls the meeting to order. Then the presiding officer makes the introductions and will introduce the guests, will introduce the tip of the day and introduce the KDNC master. The presiding officer, the KDNC master will take over the meeting and introduce the theme and agenda. Then the KDNC master will also introduce the assistants, including the project evaluators and timers. Then specific individuals or members of the group will come and make presentations. During any one meeting, you can have only 2 presentations for projects. So you have Enterprise Project 1 presentation and Enterprise Project 2 presentation. Each one of these presentations should take about 7 to 10 minutes. And the nature of the presentation should be guided by the Manual of Enterprise Project Development in the basic and advanced form. Now, the vice presidents will give their reports after the project presenters have finished. So the KDNC master will call the vice presidents and we shall hear the reports from the vice president of chapter administration, the vice president of membership, the vice president of public relations, the vice president of health, the Vice President of Housing, the Vice President of Education, the Vice President of Mission-Based Enterprises, and Vice President of Commercialization of Research Data, the Vice President of Youth Affairs, and the Vice President of Research Affairs, the Vice President of Transnational Migration, the Vice President of Women and Gender Issues, and the Vice President of Social Affairs. Each one of these Vice Presidents has about 2 to 3 minutes to give a report of the week. After that, the evaluations will follow, and the general evaluator will invite his or her assistant to give evaluation for the projects that were presented earlier. So the project evaluator 1 will evaluate Enterprise Project 1, and Project Evaluator 2 will evaluate Enterprise Project 2. After that, the KDNC Master will close the meeting promptly, but before doing that, request a vote for the KDNC Master of the Day. And the presiding officer will then come in and ask for comments from guests, present the award, and review the next week's agenda, make announcements, call for any special business, and then after that, the meeting shall adjourn promptly. The meeting should take approximately 1 hour, but the meeting should last no longer than 2 hours. When a KDNC in each chapter will develop their own programs according to their needs, it is not within the scope of the program of KDNC to sponsor or prescribe for any chapter a particular project or program. Chapters should hold regular meetings devoted to discussing chapter business and activities. Chapters should periodically hold regular meetings exclusively for conveying KDNC information, KDNC education, and leadership training for the members. Thank you so much again for listening to this very important bulletin about the structure of KDNC meetings. Thank you.